Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bahashim Kakudash, the born to the Apostle GMS Great Millstone. Alright, now this is an article from The Guardian. Alright, it says Poisoning the Pacific, new book details U.S. military contamination of islands and ocean. More than 12,000 pages of the U.S. government document shows military operations contaminating the Pacific with radioactive waste, nerve agents, and chemical weapons like Agent Orange. In 1968, Leroy Foster was a master surgeon in the U.S. Air Force, assigned to Anderson Air Force Base in Guam, a United States island territory in the Pacific. The day after he arrived on the island, he recalled being ordered a mix diesel fuel with Agent Orange, then spraying it by the truck all over the base to kill the jungle overgrowth. See, that right there shows you, all right, that the white man, all right, Esau Edom is totally against, life, all right? This is their nature. Right? He come not but to destroy, rape, rob, and murder, and kill, man. All right? This is in their spirit, man. All right? Soon after, Foster suffered serious skin complaints and eventually fell sick with Parkinson's and asthmatic heart disease. Later, his daughter had cancer as a teenager, and his grandchild was born with 12 fingers, 12 toes, and heart murmur. Foster died in 2018. A new book, Poisoning the Pacific, to be released Monday, chronicles the U.S. military decades-long contamination of indigenous lands across the Pacific as well as the ocean itself, endangering lives and ecosystems across the vast Pacific Ocean. Written by British journalist John Mitchell, Poisoning the Pacific is based on more than 12,000 pages of documents obtained under the U.S. Freedom of Information Act and through interviews with local residents, military veterans, and researchers. The book urges that for decades the U.S. has treated its territories in the Pacific with negligence, allowing its military to violate indigenous rights, seize land, and damage delicate ecosystems. Along Foster's care after years of campaigning, the airman was ultimately compensated for his exposure on the island. Mitchell's book details U.S. military operations over decades contaminating the Pacific with toxic substance, including radioactive waste, nerve agents, dioxinated Agent Orange. U.S. authorities have repeatedly tried to cover up contamination through lies, disinformation, and attacks on reporters. You see? And that's the so-called white man, all right? As soon as we be born, he come out speaking lies, all right? That's how we know who the devil is, man. That's how we know who's ruling the world, all right? Is you so-called white people, you Edomites, all right? You're the Edomites, all right? Mitchell told The Guardian, I have experienced this pressure firsthand. Mitchell's books document several attempts by the U.S. Departments of State and Defense to block his work. Yeah, because they know he's telling the truth, all right? On FOIA file shows Mitchell was monitored by the U.S. Marine Corps Criminal Investigation Division. The document included his photograph, biography, and an account of a lecture he had given in Okinawa about military contamination. Colleagues warned me against continuing my investigation. What particularly motivated me to keep filing FOIAs and digging for evidence was the very real impact my research was having for veterans exposed to Agent Orange on Okinawa. He said, you see, and this further proves that Esau don't even care about his own people, man. His own military people, all right? It reminds you of that scripture, the Most High hating a man of war that suffers poverty, all right? And that's what you have here in America, all right? America treats its own retired veterans, all right, like shit, man. All right, a lot of them are homeless, all right. So this shows you this is a wicked kingdom, man. All right, and the government don't give a shit about you people, man. All right. My reporting has helped these sick men and women to receive compensation from the U.S. government. Investigative journalism is ultimately a job that ought to be help people suffering from mistreatment to receive the justice they deserve. Poisoning the Pacific details ongoing environmental damages and risks to human health. The dome on Ruinant Island in the Marshall Islands, a sovereign nation in compact of free association with the U.S., is a massive concrete tomb where the U.S. has stored more than 70,000 M3s of radioactive debris, including plutonium 239 left over from the U.S. post-war atomic test. Aerated soil from Nevada was also transported to the island and dumped. Damn, the white man's a devil, man. The dome is leaking radioactive material into the sea. The U.S. Department of Energy concedes, though it says the amount is not dangerous. Man, look, man, this white man is the fucking devil, man. Just reading this is pissing me off, man. This is why you're going to get Obadiah 118, all right? Successive U.S. administrations have said the dome is the Marshall Island responsibility, saying the U.S. has paid out more than $600 million in resettlement, rehabilitation, and radiation-related healthcare costs to affected communities. The book documents the U.S. Army disposing of 29 million kilograms of mustard agent and nerve agents. Man, all these things that they're fucking putting on in the water. Now you couldn't even look at the picture, man. Look how fucked up that water looked. Here it is, the Mossad created everything to be beautiful naturally and clean and good, and the white man's the harbinger of death, man. Alright? That shows you you're a people of wickedness, man, of a satanic people, man. Alright? Who go off and worship Satan, man. Satan's in you, motherfucking Edomites. It says, the book documents the U.S. Army disposing of 29 million kilograms of mustard agent and nerve agents and 454 tons of radioactive waste into the Pacific Ocean, as well as the U.S. military use of nerve agents, including sarin, which the U.S. government documents confirm were leaked into the environment while slated for destruction on Johnson Atoll near Hawaii. The debate over the use of potentially deadly herbicides has been fiercely contested. After the Second World War, roughly 5,000 barrels of Agent Purple, a forerunner to the herbicide Agent Orange, were transported and stored in Guam. Although the U.S. Department of Defense has consistently claimed the herbicide stockpile was never used on the island, service members stationed there at the time claimed they sprayed and dumped military waste, including damaged herbicide barrels, over Guam's cliffs. Researchers, including the Guam Department of Public Health and Social Services, reported in 2015 that villages where herbicides were believed to have been sprayed suffered higher incidence of infant deaths from birth defects. In 2017, investigating claims of herbicide use of Guam, the U.S. government itself was conflicted. The Department of Defense reported that tests on solid did not contain herbicides. The Environmental Protection Agency reported the opposite. The health and environment impacts on Guam mirror those that have happened to local residents and U.S. soldiers based in Okinawa, Japan, where the U.S. has maintained a base for decades and where Mitchell began his reporting. In 2005, the U.S. struck a deal with Japan to move thousands of U.S. Marines from Okinawa to Guam. Okinawans have consistently opposed U.S. military presence on the island, citing harm to their health and environment. You see? And this is you white people, man. All right, which I'm going to get a scripture later. There has been some progress, albeit limited. Guam Senate have backed bills for the territory's inclusion on the Veterans Affairs list of places where Agent Orange was used in March 2019. A bill named after Lonnie Salakia. Where was I? Satan, man. It said, Lonnie Kilpatrick, a service member who fell ill on Guam, had died. Approved compensation to 52,000 veterans exposed to herbicides in 3 U.S. Pacific territories: Guam, American Samoa, and Johnson Atoll. All right, I'm going to stop the article there. All right. what I want to get, man, is that, look, man, you know, this further proves that the white man is the devil, man. All right. Okay. I don't care what anybody, nobody got to say. All right. Why would you want to leak, you know, harmful substance into the ecosystem? All right. And kill a whole bunch of life. The white man don't, it shows you that the white man don't give a fuck, man. All right. You're destroying the own earth you're living onto, dumbass. All right. But you gonna kill yourself. This is why the Lord said, the time shall be short, or else there ain't gonna be no flesh to be saved, man. Because if this white man continues to rule the earth in the way he is, man, the whole earth is gonna die, man, and everything in it is gonna die. All right, this is why Yahweh Shai needs to come back and take the white man out, man. Esau, Edom. All right, I'm gonna get two scriptures. All right, it says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. And shouldest," here's the point, "and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth." And who's destroying the earth? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Okay? He's responsible for poisoning the Pacific Ocean, man. All right? It's shit like this that he be doing to fucking for his profit, his game, man. All right? Him being wicked, man. Him being the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Okay? And another scripture, all right? An article stated that the people of Guam, all right, don't want the U.S. military there, man, because they're endangering their health, man. All right? And that's a sign of mourning. Like the scripture says, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. All right? And the people are mourning right now all over the world, man, because the white man's in power, man. He has control of the whole earth. All right? Esau, Edom. All right? But he's about to lose his powership from the Most High, because the Most High gave him that power to rule the earth. All right? And the Most High said, he raiseth up one king and taketh down another. He dwelleth in the kingdom of men. All right? He's ultimately in control of ruling the earth, man. Not the so-called white man. Okay? And one last scripture that I want to close out with is Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever." And who's that people? The Edomites. You so-called white people. The so-called white man. All right? And just know that God, who you call God, hates you. All right? He don't love you. He never been about loving you. All right? He don't give a fuck about you. All right? This is why the Lord said, I'm gonna get it. All right? This is why you gonna get Obadiah 118, man. All right? And it's shit like this that I can't wait until the Lord commands Israel the go-ahead green light to 118 you, man. 118 your ass. "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it." With that, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kagadash. Shalom.